What's up, you guys? We got event 302 coming up. We got Islam versus Dustin here. Now, we've already seen this fight happen with Khabib versus Dustin, and Dustin didn't know what to do. He was in deep waters, scared for his life, getting choked out, just like most people when they face Khabib. But to be honest with you, Islam's a little bit better than Khabib in some ways. His striking's better. He mixes it up a little bit better. He's got takedown submissions. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he won by rear naked choke or pulled a ghillie on Dustin just to prove a point. Islam's going to be younger, same height, but Dustin's going to have that reach advantage. Dustin's going to has a win-loss pattern going on right now, and Islam has a win-win-win-win pattern going on right now. And to be honest, I think Islam is an A+ fighter, and Poirier is a B+, possibly A- fighter at times. I think that Islam's got the championship mindset, the championship team right now, and Dustin's kind of getting desperate with trying to have his kids there and saying his back's against the wall and this is his last fight and everything else. I just think the person with the better defense is going to win, like in most sports. And defense wins championships, and I think that Islam is going to have better defense than Dustin in this one. So I'm going to go with Islam for sure in that fight. The next fight, we got Paulo Costa versus Sean Strickland. Now, I've seen some people starting to lean towards Paulo Costa, but to be honest with you, Paulo Costa is not good enough. He's a B- level fighter. MMA math, we got Izzy beating him, and then Sean Strickland beating Izzy as well. And Strickland at least has a championship mindset because he beat the Izzy, a former champ. And Strickland's got the better boxing, the 4-inch reach. I think the only thing that Paulo has on him is muscles, and that's not going to help him in this fight. I think that's actually going to hurt him, so I think he's too muscular. He's a bit overrated. He doesn't have that many fantastic wins, to be honest with you. I just think Sean Strickland's going to have the better boxing, the better distance control, and just be tougher. He's not going to just wilt under the pressure like Paulo Costa is. He's going to give it his all, and Costa just kind of wilts if he's not being totally dominant. We've seen Costa pop for steroids as well. Him and Romero had a couple incidents after their fight, I believe. But to each his own. I think that Paulo's not going to have the best skills to match up with Strickland in this one, but Paulo is decent, but I think he's overrated. Sean Strickland in that one. The next fight, we got Big Mouth versus Mikhail Olazáchik. Now, Mikhail, I thought he was going to be kind of nasty whenever he got into the league or into the UFC, but he's not. He's not as nasty as I thought he was going to be. He's about a C+ level fighter with hints of like a B+, B- level fighter at times. He has to get the KO. That's his downfall and his strength. He does kind of have a touch of death. He used to have it more so. But he's got a giant hole in his game, you guys. I'm talking about a giant crater-sized hole in his game, and that's the submission game. Now, Kevin Holland, he's no Gracie, but I think that Kevin Holland is well-rounded enough, wiry enough. He's got a 7-inch reach on advantage on Mikhail. And he's either going to be Django or Bozo, and I hope he goes Django mode instead of Bozo mode. So I'm going to say Big Mouth in this one. He's going to use his lanky whipping style to, no pun intended there with the Django shit. But he's going to use his style there, and he's going to be able to, like, crack his shots in a lot harder and things like that. He's got a lot of power at the end of his shots. And I think that he's going to use that to his advantage. Honestly, sometimes he's a total bum. He doesn't take nothing serious, just wants money. And then other times he's like, man, I'm going to take this shit serious. It's like, you never know what you're going to get. Like I said, Django or Bozo. So I'm going to say Kevin Holland gets this one, surprises some people, and wins this one. We got a heavyweight fight coming up next. We got Jelton Almeida versus Alexander Romanov. Now, I think that Almeida is the better fighter here, but he's completely undersized. I mean, this guy's like a light heavyweight weight, And then Romanov is a true heavyweight, so that concerns me, to be honest with you. But Jilton is better everywhere. He's strong, agile. He's going to have a 4-inch reach. He's going to be longer, but he's not going to have the weight. You know, Romanov is a big old bear, and then Almeida is just a strong, big dude. He's 1 year younger than Alexander, but he seems like he's 5 years younger than him. Honestly, at the beginning, I was leaning towards Romanov in this one, but he's too fat. In his last fight, he looked super fat. He's got a decent little popping jab, but he faced off against another fatty. And I think that Romanov is a C- level fighter, and Jelton's like a B something fighter. So I'm going to say Jelton on this one for sure. I think he's going to be able to at least win the decision, possibly get a TKO shot on that one. The next fight, we got Randy Brown and versus Dos Santos. Now, I think Dos Santos has been performing above his skills, to be honest. I think he's going to get exposed in this one. He's too old. He's just too old. He's beaten some people. He beat BSD, Benoit Saint Denis, and but he lost to Muslim and things. I think this guy's a C+ level fighter fighting at a B+ level skill set or ability right now for some reason. But I think he's going to get exposed in this one by Randy Brown. I think Randy Brown's kind of coming into his own. He's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, Randy is. A 5-inch height advantage, a 4-year youth advantage. His decent striking, his awkwardness can be good and bad. Sometimes he fights like Michael Venom Page a little bit, but a little bit better, more traditional style to it. But that makes him do dumb shit too. Like he did a little backwards kick. I don't know if he was trying to like kick off of the what's it called or what when he got KO'd, but it was pretty stupid. Honestly, it looked hilarious. He beat Muslim, which is MMA math says that Dos Santos lost to Muslim, so that was a pretty nice KO he had on Muslim too. He's one of these long guys that, like Kevin Holland, like Izzy, has a longer shot, but at the end of it carries a lot of power. And I think he's coming into his own as a B-level fighter, to be honest, right now. So I'm going to give this one to Randy Rude Boy Brown. And I used to think Randy was a total bum. So it's nice to see Randy getting better, to be honest. So I'm going to say Randy by I'm going to say probably decision on that one. All right. The next fight, we got Cesar Almeida versus Roman Kopylov. And I think this is going to be a good fight, to be honest with you. Cesar seems a lot older, but he's not like too old. He's going to be 3 years older than Roman, 1 inch taller. Roman's going to have a 1-inch reach advantage. Now, in my head, I think of Roman as being so much longer than this dude, so much rangier than this dude, but they're both strikers. They're both like kickboxing style. I think that Cesar is not UFC level. Just when I watch him, something about it just screams, not UFC level. Not UFC level with this guy. And I'm like, all right, I get it. He's got absolutely no ground game. He's got okay takedown defense, but against anybody who's actually got some skill, he's not going to be able to hang with them or compete in the wrestling. This is going to be an all-strike fight, apparently. But if Roman's smart, he'll use a little bit of the ground game, possibly try to take him down a little bit. But I think Roman's going to catch him for some reason. I really do. Cesar's got some heavy strikes. He barely hit that other dude. I mean, he hit him hard, but it didn't look like too much. But, man, that dude was battered after that. And Roman's got a really nasty kick. He's pretty well-rounded. I expected more out of Roman, to be honest with you. So we'll see if this is his time to shine. If not, I'm probably going to start fading him more. But I'm going to go with Roman in this one. I'm going to give him another chance against this guy who I think isn't UFC level right now, but is a decent striker in Cesar Almeida. But Roman for this one. The next fight, we got Grant Dawson versus Joe Solecki. Now, in my head, I imagine Joe Solecki to be a little bit better, to be honest with you. But going back and reviewing the tape and everything else, it's just like I can't even think. Makwan Americani, is that dude's name, who does all the rolling around and shit? He's just another one of these type of dudes. He just rolls around. He's got no power. He's not great anywhere. And and he's a D-level fighter, to be honest with you. He got slam KO'd in his last one. And Grant Dawson in his last one got knocked out by Bobby Green with the quickness, to be honest with you. He did a couple looping shots, and then boom, Bobby Green knocked him out. But honestly, it looked like Grant Dawson was scared in there. I don't know if he's scared of the brothers or what, but he was scared in there. Grant Dawson's going to be much stronger against Joe Selecki. He's going to out-wrestle this dude like he out-wrestled Madsen, especially if Joe wants to take it to the ground. I don't see Dawson being on the bottom. Dawson's going to use his 1.5-inch reach advantage a little bit. And both these guys are coming off losses, and they both look like idiots in their last fight a little bit. Dawson a little bit more. But to be honest with you, I think Dawson's going to be stronger. I think Dawson's like a B-minus level fighter. And he got caught slipping last time, but I think this is going to be his redemption, and I think he's going to manhandle Joe Selecki. Joe Selecki's kind of a wimp, to be honest with you, no offense. Next up, we got Philip Rowe versus Jake Matthews. And Philip Rowe, that sounds like a lawyer's name right there. Maybe that's what he should have done, because he's a bum. Honestly, he's a bum, man. He's got a 5-inch reach, a 7.5 our 5-inch height advantage, a 7.5-inch reach advantage, big ass head, and this dude ain't UFC level either. It was funny watching him fight Magny, because he is a discount Magny, and Jake Matthews, he's not that great, to be honest. He believes in himself, then he doesn't believe in himself, then he's good and then he's bad, then he's good and then he's bad. He's another win-loss type of dude, but being a C-plus level fighter and being 4 years younger, I think the youth is going to take this one. And he's better than Philip Rowe, just to be honest with you. Philip Rowe, he's a bum. He'll start halfway strong, but he's got a loser mentality. You could just tell he's just ready to lose. Like I said, a discount Magny, and he just is not UFC level in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to go with Jake Matthews on this one, by decision or sub. Next fight, we got Nico Price versus Alex Morono. I love to watch Alex Morono fight. Both these guys are exciting. Nico Price has that trailer park strength. He sucks, though. He's washed. He's got that tall, lanky, bop him shots, but he's not that good. He's taller, longer, as he usually is, but it doesn't pay him any advantage, to be completely honest with you. We've seen him do good in the past, but I think he's washed. I think he's washed, you guys. I really do. Morono, he throws ballistic strikes. You know, he's got the heat-seeking missiles going on. He's, let's see, he's going to be younger, and I think he's decent. I think Morono's decent, man, honestly. People used to write him off, but then he strung together some decent wins. I think he's a B-level fighter, and I think that he's going to KO Nico Price. I really do. I think Nico Price's chin is just ready to take a heat-seeking ballistic missile and just explode that bitch. All right, next fight. We got Mickey Gall, the CM Punk Destroyer, versus Basil Hafez. Is that even how you say it? I don't know. Watched both of their recent fights. Mickey Gall is going to be a little bit taller, a little bit longer reach, absolutely zero power, no power. He looks like a better fighter than he is, and some people wouldn't even assume that. His only win recently is Jordan Williams, the dude who looks like the Rocket Power character. This is going to be a submission wrestlefuck extravaganza going on. Mickey Gall has no power, and at least the other dude has some power. Like, he had a close fight with JDM in the first round, and he's super wiry when it first starts, but I could see him losing power too, and then, losing the fight to decision to Mickey Gall. So, I don't know. I feel like the UFC, and especially Dana White, likes Mickey Gall for some reason. I don't know why, but they want him to win. But Hafez is super good in the first round. He's more active. And he manhandled JDM even in the first round, but he gets super tired, and he's not a UFC level fighter. Neither of these dudes are UFC level, just to be honest with you. But I'm going to go with Hafez in this one. I just think Mickey Gall sucks, but I know if it goes to decision, they're going to give it to Gall just because. But I'm going to say the other dude just knocks him out because Mickey Gall's a bum. All right, the next fight, we got Perez versus Edwards. And normally I wouldn't do. I was gonna plan to not do the girl fights. Honestly, they bore me. And but I'm just gonna do it for the numbers, and just to make sure that I'm guessing more right than wrong. In this one, we're gonna give it to Perez. She's got the takedown advantage. Edwards could win a decision easily. I could see either of them winning, but her one of Perez's losses was an IQ thing. She's a strong little dwarf, and I think that she's going to win the decision by mixing in the takedowns. And I don't even think they judge women's fighting correctly, so we'll see. I'm going to go with Perez on that one. And in the last fight, we got Lima versus Mitch, and Mitch, he's a little bit too small. He's a little bit too small in my opinion. That's my only critique on him. He's just small, and this will be his third shot at the UFC, and I just think that third time's not going to be a charm for him. I think Andre Lima, the dude that got bit, he's got a winning track record, and I'm just going to take him. This is my least researched fight, to be honest with you, but I'm going to take Lima. He's pretty strong. He's wiry, and I think he's just big enough to defeat Mitch. Mitch is too small. He's like 5'5", so with shoes on. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like. Appreciate it.